A heartfelt greeting to all our friends in Columban parishes and Columban areas in our brother country of Japan. My name is Father John Bowles. I'm from England. I'm a Columban father, a Columban priest, and I've been here living and working in Peru and Chile for the last 20 years. And I'm glad to have this opportunity to send my own personal thanks to all of you who, over the years I've been involved in the Columban mission here in Peru and Chile, have cooperated with us, both spiritually through your prayers and also materially through your generous contributions. For 10 years I worked in Columban formation. Formation is a seminary. It's where we train young Chilean and Peruvian men who are interested in joining our society and in turn going abroad as Columban priests. First of all, I worked here in Peru, and then when we decided to join the two programs of Chile and Peru, I became rector of our joint seminary in Santiago, the capital of Chile. Our process of formation is extremely rigorous because we only want the highest quality of missionary priest. So there is a strict screening process, after which men have to study 2 years of philosophy. They must learn English, usually in an English-speaking country. Then there is a spiritual year. This is a discernment year when they are allowed to have time with a spiritual director to enter into dialogue with their God to see if really he is calling them to a priestly vocation, and if so, a priestly vocation as a missionary with our society. 3 years of theology follow, and within those 3 years, 2 years in a foreign country. That's because all Columban missionaries work in countries and cultures other than their own. In the case of men from Chile and Peru, generally in Asia. Recently, we've sent men to Pakistan, to Philippines, to Korea, and yes, there have been men sent to Japan. Philip Bonifacio, still with you, is one of those. All this takes time, usually up to 10 years, but it also costs money because formation is not cheap, especially the best type of formation which we provide. For instance, in Chile, the men study in the Catholic University, one of the finest universities not only in Chile, but also in the whole of southern South America. Now, it's a high priority of the society, and the society is always generous with their funds, but it can't cover all the costs. That's why we've had recourse to the generosity of benefactors or other regions that can help us. And I am proud to say that on many occasions, you in Japan came forth with contributions that were so necessary for us. At least 3 years running, I was the recipient on behalf of the society in Chile and Peru of donations that you sent that contributed to the formation of priests, Columban priests, Columban missionary priests. I was in formation for 10 years, and God willing, next year we'll begin to see the fruits of those labours, not only mine, but also of those who have worked with me, and of course all our supporters. We hope to have a Peruvian ordination and a Chilean ordination in the first months of next year. Hopefully more will follow. There are 6 men presently in the seminary and an active vocations program looking for more. Therefore, once more, I wish to thank you deeply from the bottom of my heart on my behalf, on that of the Columbans of Chile and Peru, and the people of God, both of Chile and Peru, and of the countries where these future priests will be serving. Thank you, goodbye, God bless. Warm greetings to all our friends in Columban parishes and Columban associations in Japan. My name is Father John Bowles. I'm from England, but for the last 20 years I've been working here in Peru, in South America, as a Columban priest. We are frontiers people. We always work on the frontier, on the edges. This is challenging work. It's also work that needs help. And my reason for speaking to you today is that many of you, through your generosity, of prayers and financial assistance, have helped us. So in what way have you helped us in general and specifically in my work? In nearly all those 20 years, I've been involved on the fringes, the northern fringes of the capital city of Peru, Lima. Lima is a typical third world city, growing at a tremendous rate. Every year, thousands and thousands of people come in from the countryside, poor people, looking for a better life in the big city. They camp. Yes, that's what they do. They virtually camp on the edge of the city. Lima is surrounded by desert, so they carve out a little piece of land, put up a wickerwork hut, a basketwork hut, a flimsy wooden hut, and then over time try and improve their life and their form of dwelling. At first, there is no piped water, there is no electricity, no telephones, no paved roads. They have to start from the beginning, from zero, from nothing, constantly pressuring the government to lay on these services. During our 60 years in Peru, it has been a main focus of Columban mission to accompany these people. We take up new parishes with these poor immigrants on the edges of Lima, and as they improve their lives, we try to improve our service to them in parishes, slowly developing Christian-based communities. Then looking for places where they can build simple chapels, which later will be improved. Developing all the spiritual and pastoral programs that are needed in these areas. First communion, baptism, marriage, confirmation, etc. But also social services in order to help the poorest and most defenceless of these people. As time progresses, the parish improves, the parish grows. And when it's self-sufficient, which means financially and in terms of personnel able to look after itself, we hand over the parish to the local diocese and move further out to the new frontier. And so the process continues. We've covered over 40 parishes in this way, developing the pastoral services in almost the whole of northern Lima. Today we are fewer in number, but we maintain the same system. We have 3 parishes now on the edge of Lima, and I'm proud to say I'm in one of them. It's dedicated to Saint Columban, patron of our society, a name given to us by the local bishop on honour of the work we've done for him over the years, and of another great missionary, Francis Xavier. So, the parish of Saints Columban and Francis Xavier. This parish was founded in 2001, 13 years ago, when there was no church, no chapel, no land, no development whatsoever. And slowly we've gone through this classic Columban missionary process, looking for groups of people that can form a Christian-based community. We developed 5. Then looking for land where they could meet, first of all out in the open. One of the places we met was under a palm tree, and to this day it's known as La Palmerita, the place of the palm tree. Slowly we're able to develop the same wickerwork buildings that the people have for their own houses, and then bit by bit, little by little, getting funds to build permanent churches, chapels, meeting rooms. And this is where you come in, because all this costs money, a lot of money. Now from central office, the Columbans reimburse us from funds received from various regions. That helps. But most of the money we have to look for ourselves, private funding. And I'm happy to report that at least one major donation during my time has come from Japan to help in the development of one chapel. Later you'll be seeing film of that chapel. It's dedicated to Jesus, the great teacher, Jesus el Gran Maestro. And thanks to your generosity, we were able to place a roof on the chapel. We had the walls, we didn't have the roof. But thanks to funds received from Japan, we roofed the chapel. I'm desperately grateful to you for that. I'm grateful to your prayers that have been assistance, spiritual, in the upbuilding of this parish. And I hope that we can continue this connection between Columban friends in Japan and in Peru. For this generosity, for this help, for this love and this kindness, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
We want to know what is lombriz feliz.
La lombriz feliz es un centro donde está una planta de procesamiento para lo que es el manejo de los residuos sólidos domiciliarios. Participan familias de las comunidades al contorno de la planta, ¿no? Clasificando sus residuos desde sus viviendas. Las familias clasifican en tres, lo que son orgánicos, no orgánicos y no útiles, ¿no? Y ellos traen acá al centro. El centro se encarga de lo que es el procesamiento de los residuos orgánicos. Luego, los no orgánicos son los que se vuelven a clasificar, o sea, se acopian y luego se vuelven a clasificar más finamente, se comercializan, ¿no? Y los residuos no útiles son aquellos que, bueno, ya no tienen un segundo uso. Esos nada más se entregan al camión de la municipalidad, que por este sector pasa 2 veces a la semana, a veces una vez. Y los residuos orgánicos son aquellos que nosotros transformamos acá en el centro a través de las lombrices para la obtención de abono natural. Este abono luego se vende acá mismo en la zona y también se da en algunos programas que tenemos con las mismas familias para la implementación de áreas verdes.
This is the center where they are going to process the waste, classifying it into organic and unorganic. Then they process it and then they produce a fertilizer, organic fertilizers, at través de lombriz, no, or the worm. And this waste, most of them are coming from the different houses. They are bringing their waste here, and the center will process it, and they produce fertilizer out of this waste. When did this center start to function?
Bueno, el centro en realidad nace en 1991, a raíz de los grandes basurales existentes en la zona, y por ese tiempo también la epidemia del cólera, que afectaba mucho al país mismo, por el cual pues murió mucha gente. En ese tiempo también estaba pues unos misioneros alemanes acá en la parroquia, la Señora de la Paz, y ello fue que nos impactó mucho y por ello quisimos buscar una alternativa. Y dentro de esa alternativa nace pues la idea de criar lombrices a base de residuos orgánicos domiciliarios con el fin de reducir estos basurales en 1991.
This center started in 1991, especially in the year where this epidemic, the cholera, existed and was a problem at that time because all around you can see garbage, and then because of this garbage, then people were already sick of cholera, and so the center was started at this year, and then they did collect garbage and they process it, and they started a vermiculture, that's the worm culture. Through this worm they produce this humus, and from this humus we process it as an organic fertilizer. I heard that the name of this center before was not Lombriz Feliz, and how come that you reached to name it as Lombriz Feliz?
Cuando iniciamos, en realidad el centro no se llamaba Lombriz Feliz, se llamaba Centro Piloto de Lombricultura 1 de Mayo, ¿no? Y sus siglas era CEPILOM. pero a raíz de problemas legales, de repente, ¿no? Con los iniciadores, con los responsables legales más claro, es que cambia de nombre en el 2007, ¿no? Y recogiendo un poco la historia de que nació con las lombrices, y de comentarios de una de nuestras compañeras que dijo la lombriz está feliz en la zona, decidimos cambiarle de nombre y decir, bueno, si la lombriz se dice siempre feliz como una lombriz, vamos a cambiar el nombre y vamos a decir la lombriz feliz.
At first, the name of the center was Sipiloma, but then, because they are working of the worm or vermiculture, then they were talking of changing the name until somebody suggested it. Because we are working with worm or vermiculture, we have to change the name as Lombris Feliz. That's why until now the name is Lombris Feliz, which is sometimes very funny to hear. No? But we are happy working with this Lombris Feliz.
Estas son mayormente las lombrices que comen el compost y lo convierten en humus.
Now we can see the worm here, no, and they are eating the compost they produce in the center. So we have a lot of worm here, which we call the vermiculture. Huh?
Sí.
So and they are producing humus, which later on be used as
Estas
organic
son las
fertilizer.
famosas lombrices.
Cuando nosotros iniciamos, por ejemplo, iniciamos con los 2 primeros lechos, que son los de la parte baja. Luego ya hemos ido aumentando poco a poco ya los otros lechos, ¿no? Empezamos con 2, ahora tenemos algo de 10, ¿no? 10 lechos que hemos ido aumentando con el fin de captar mayor cantidad de residuos, ya que las comunidades también han ido creciendo en esta zona, ¿no?
Yeah, at first they only started with 2, like a garden for the worm, but because the population also increased, a lot of gardens around, so we are increasing it. And we can see a lot of it already, where the worm are cultured.
Esta zona es la zona de compostaje, ¿no? Acá empieza realmente el procesamiento de los residuos orgánicos, ¿no? Acá vienen a parar diario todos los residuos que recogemos de las viviendas, que recogemos del mercado de la zona. También, por ejemplo, está la cáscara de ajo, que son recursos de la zona, que también hay muchos peladores de cáscara de ajo en la zona y la cáscara nos lo traen acá para ser utilizado para el abono, ¿no? Es otro de los insumos. Los excrementos de los animales, porque acá tenemos cuyes, pero también viene de las viviendas, ¿no? Es otro insumo que usamos y a la vez pues también agua, ¿no? El agua, que es un recurso escaso para nosotros.
Yeah. This is the compost zone where they are processing all the organic waste, and these organic waste, as what I have said, are coming from the different houses in this zone as well, no? And they bring it here, and then the center process it, water it, and then they are also using the skin of the garlic, which is a part also of this organic the waste, no? And they are processing it together with the other waste they collected.
Bueno, acá ya es almacenado el producto final, ¿no? Ya esta es la zona del almacén donde luego vamos a pesar, empaquetar y sacar a la venta, ¿no? Ese es ya el humus de lombriz. Después de unos 7 meses aproximadamente ya obtenemos lo que es el producto final, que es el humus de lombriz. Luego acá en este sector, según pedido, es lo que se empaca y se reparte a los clientes que nos piden, ¿no? Que es el mercado de flores y es Pamplona y son la gente acá mismo, de los colegios, los vecinos que vienen a comprar.
This is the area of packaging and the last process of the vermiculture, where they are weighing the humus and then put it in a plastic bag, and then we sell it in the local market, the flower market near Lima. The cost of this bag of hummus is 1 sol and 50 cents. And they are selling it, that's what they have said, in the market where people are selling other organic fertilizers as well. Aside from the hummus, what other things you are doing here producing in this center?
Adicionalmente, bueno, a raíz de todo el manejo de los residuos sólidos domiciliarios que hacemos acá en la planta, también, por ejemplo, hemos empezado a producir verduras, ¿no?, en pequeños espacios de biohuerto que tenemos. Estas verduras luego son vendidas también y usadas para el consumo de los mismos miembros. Y también las familias vienen a comprar cuando ya ven que hay verduras, ¿no?, o llevamos acá al mercado de la zona. Otra pequeño ingreso que tenemos es también a través del vivero, que ya producimos plantas, ¿no?, también para la venta y también para dar a las familias en adopción, para ir forestando, reverdeciendo la zona. Esa es otra de las actividades que hacemos. Pero además tenemos los servicios educativos, ¿no?, que vienen estudiantes, ya sea de instituciones educativas, también de institutos, universidades, grupos organizados, vienen también algunos a hacer acá sus prácticas, ¿no?, es otra actividad. Con ello también hacemos proyectos de desarrollo más hacia otras comunidades más alejadas, prácticamente todo lo que es capacitación en los temas que manejamos, como es el manejo de los residuos, la producción de abono, la implementación de áreas verdes, la implementación de cultivos orgánicos en las viviendas. Eso es las actividades adicionales, ¿no?, que nosotros también venimos haciendo, y algunas otras actividades como pasacalles, marchas juntos con otras organizaciones, ¿no?, sobre el tema ambiental.
Aside from the hummus, and because of the hummus, they also produce an organic garden, just a little garden, but they are producing vegetables out of this garden, and then they are selling it in the local market, and some of the families around in this area are also buying these vegetables produced by this center. And they also have a nursery, plant nursery, where people can buy plants, different kinds of plants. And then another thing they are doing, they are accepting visitors from universities who are doing the research and want to know what is the center, this ecological center about. And another work they are doing, they are going to different places or different neighbors in this area, and they are sensibilizing the people or giving them an awareness of what is ecology, how to care the environment. And also, aside from this, they are also doing this, inviting people to adopt some trees and plant it near their house or in their area, which they call tree adoption. This is another area of the organic garden. So this is the center doing a lot of work for the community. But we would like to thank the people who started this work, this center, people many years ago who were involved in this center, and those who are helping financially this center. Until now, we would also like to thank Mission, who helped us a lot for this center, and also the Columbanos in Japan, who is helping us to continue this work for the community, and all the Columbanos as well who are involved in this center, and the workers who are working now, and some of them were the workers when this center started. Until now, they are here committed. At first, they didn't receive anything, but they are giving their service for the community, and very thankful for all the people around in this area who are bringing their waste here, and also they are already conscious and aware of their environment, that it should be healthy and good for their existence. So thanks for all of you who are involved far and near, people who are in Lima and people who are outside of Lima, as well as the Columbans, Mission Kara, and the Columbans in Japan, who is helping us this time, so that this work, this center, will continue, will give their service for the life of the world.